Today's MetroNews television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
Rains from Monday to Tuesday resulted in flooding where locally estimates surpassed 4 inches of rain. You can see various pockets of deep greens where we had at least a good inch here and there in West Virginia, with some drier pockets as well. Adding numbers to this, not as impressive for Parkersburg, Elkins, Huntington, less than a half inch for Monday, but Charleston over 1¾ inch. Beckley, a daily record with more than 2.5 inches, and that doesn't account for any rain that fell after midnight into this morning. An opportunity to dry out the rest of today, Wednesday, Thursday, but then Thursday night and Friday, scattered thunderstorms with a widespread marginal threat, so we will see the potential for more heavy rain that may bring additional flooding concerns at the end of the work week. For now, though, quieting down, clear skies tonight with areas of fog setting up into Wednesday morning, then a nice dry day out there Wednesday, and another one for most of Thursday. 5-star W forecast, it starts at home. Also pretty clear the next few days if you're traveling toward D.C., Atlanta, New York, Myrtle Beach, Charlotte, but plan for wet weather toward Chicago, Orlando, and Tampa. Panhandle, the Panhandle forecast without the clouds tonight. Temperatures falling toward 51 for Kingswood, looking to 54 for Moundsville. Highs from mid-70s to low 80s here on Wednesday. Toward Martinsburg to stay a touch warmer with 58 for a low and a high of 83 Wednesday. Davis, high of only 70. We'll see some areas of fog as well, with some communities like Elkins dipping shy of the 50-degree mark, staying at 76 here Wednesday, 69 Snowshoe, but still warming toward 80 as we look to Parkersburg and Ripley. And looking south, more areas of fog, mid-40s to mid-50s, highs in the upper 70s to low 80s for our Wednesday. An active stretch Friday through the weekend, but by next week, getting hot and staying dry.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Five, three,
Red 57! Red 57! Hot, hot!
I don't believe what I just saw.
Bill McKenzie kicks a 38-yard field goal on the final play of the football game.
5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes!
It is a great night to be a Mountaineer wherever you may be.
From the home of the state's land-grant institution, inside the Health Plan Studios, in the Dale B. Miller Building in Morgantown, it's time for the state's most listened-to sports talk show. This is the CityNet Statewide Sportsline. CityNet, cybersecurity experts for the digital age. And now, across the state of West Virginia and beyond, Sportsline is on the air.
Hi, everyone, and good evening. We welcome you into the CityNet Statewide Sportsline on this Tuesday, June 23rd, 2026. Thanks for being with us, however you may be listening or watching the show. Coach Hunter is alongside this evening. Greg, good evening, and welcome to you.
Good evening, Brad. How you doing?
Doing great. Doing great. We got a lot of news today. A newsy sports day on Tuesday, June 23rd. There's more headlines from the world of college sports, and it's been long rumored, much discussed. The new eligibility rules, Coach Hunter, they've been voted on, and the vote was yes. New eligibility in place from the NCAA. We'll talk about that coming up. It is.
We've discussed this before, but this is a significant piece of information.
It's huge news across the world of college sports, so we'll talk about that here in literally a matter of seconds. The women's basketball team, WVU women's basketball team, is hosting a meet and greet tomorrow night, Coach Hunter, over at the GOAT here in Morgantown. Suncrest Town Center starts around 6:30 or so, 6:30 to 8, a meet and greet with all the new women's basketball players. It's a chance to come out and say hello to them, and we've got one coming on the program tonight. Excited to be joined by Khyala Ngodu, who transfers into WVU from UCF. So she has played against the Mountaineers before in her previous life, and she will join us coming up on the show here
reincarnated
in just a couple of minutes. We're going to talk to her about what it means to be here in West Virginia and a little bit about tomorrow night as well. NBA draft underway tonight. Round 1 this evening. And listen, there's going to be a lot of familiar names. If you watched Big 12 basketball this year and watched the Mountaineers, you're going to recognize a lot of names off the board this evening, a lot of them coming early. Heavy favorite to go number 1, BYU's A.J. DeBonsa. But there is still some speculation. Will Darren Peterson slide in there maybe at 1? Again, heavy betting favorite on DeBonsa, and we'll get into that and break it all down. It's Mike Gansey's first draft as president of the Philadelphia 76ers. What's Joe Mazzulla and the Celtics do? How about the New York Knicks, defending world champs with Deuce McBride? So again, a lot of Mountaineer influence in the draft coming up this evening. We want your text as well. Love to hear from you. 304-8255-304. That's 304-TALK-304. We'll get into your texts as they come in as well. But let's begin, Greg, with that news. The NCAA Division I Council today voted to allow athletes 5 years of eligibility over a 5-year period. That clock begins when you enroll in college, or, I thought this was interesting, when you turn 19, even if you're not in college yet. So it tries to take some of those age games out of the mix a little bit. 5 years to play 5 is what the new rule is. No red shirts or extensions to that.
Is that straight 5?
Just 5 for 5. That's really interesting. Now, we know lawsuits are going to come immediately, and there's going to be a bunch of them. And I'm fascinated to watch how the courts handle this one because, again, the NCAA hasn't been allowed to make its own rules up to this point, right? The courts have struck down a lot of these things that have come before them. This one's really wild, though. Think about this group of athletes that just finished up. So COVID, players that were around during the COVID time got an extra year of eligibility, and rightfully so. Got a year back. JUCO players were awarded additional years.
Yes.
Right? So those two got it. Now current athletes that are playing right now will get a 5th year of eligibility. So COVID, JUCO, current all got new 5-year deals or got additional years of eligibility.
Yes.
There's a particular group, though, that just finished up that may have played 4 years in a 4-year time period, and they're out of luck.
Their clock, yeah.
Their clock has expired.
Yep.
They can't go get a 5th year. They can't get a waiver. It wasn't JUCO. They weren't COVID. There's that little tiny niche, and West Virginia had a couple of them, Trayson Eaglestaff and Brendan Lorient, to name 2. And those guys are kind of sitting there saying, well, hold on here. I competed against guys that were playing in their 5th and 6th years. The group that's still behind me, they're getting a 5th year, and this little narrow band of guys doesn't get a chance to play a 5th year. I can see the basis for the lawsuit, and I'm interested to see where this goes. I guess you could argue, no matter when you try and put a rule in place, it's going to affect some people. But I did find it interesting that there is that group that exists that got left out of all of these different rules that were giving people extra years of eligibility. They don't have one of those.
Well, and as you said, whether it's, those 2 Mountaineers or whomever, somebody will take this to court, right?
Somebody's. It won't be somebody.
Yeah.
There's already, and listen, there's already word out there. A couple of prominent attorneys on social media have at least 50 players involved in a class action lawsuit. So this is coming soon in a matter of days.
And how often have the courts sided with the NCAA in these? I mean, the players almost always win. I mean, it was just yesterday or the day before there was a Northwestern offensive lineman who was appealing to get a 6th year because had a traditional redshirt as a freshman. And he goes, oh, you know what? I actually had a little bit of an ankle injury that year. Traditional medical the 2nd year, then played 3 years. So he's got his 5-year clock is over. He wants a 6th year because that first year he claims now is a medical. So it was just 2 days ago. The courts were overruling the NCAA, which had said he doesn't have any time left. So what's the difference now that there's a new rule in effect? What are the odds that not only will it not go to court, which we know it will, But the NCAA actually is going to be able to uphold this. I guess that's the question.
Yeah, I don't know. And listen, the NCAA has won some of these eligibility cases. They're not as highly publicized, but it does feel the majority are going the player's direction and getting additional years. So I'm fascinated to see where this goes, to see if this sticks in any form or fashion or how it affects people moving forward. The no medical red shirt is really interesting. And I know you've got that extra year built in, so you're basically have the opportunity to have one of those medical red shirts if it happens within a season. But that's going to take some getting used to, I think, to folks that on the medical side. And I think it does one of those things like now, if you're an athlete, instead of taking that year, if you weren't going to be back and ready to go at 100% for the full season, where you may go ahead and apply and get that extra year, now you're just going to come back.
Yeah.
Right? You're going to come back, whether that's 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whenever, because you're losing the year anyway, so you might as well get back there and play. So I'm interested to see what – and listen, there will be unintended consequences, as there is anytime you try and put a rule in. I'll be fascinated to watch what things pop up over the next couple of years.
No, you're right. And you know, we could do 20 shows on how this is going to impact West Virginia University student athletes as well. There are going to be a bunch. They're going to have an additional year. That some of those that are transferring in, or you know, certainly the true freshmen that are just here now, they've got 5 instead of 4 to play 5.
Sure.
Transfers coming in, we think, they got 1 year left. They're a senior. Well, you know what? In fact, you're going to have 2 years left, including the individual we're about to talk to.
Khyla.
You know, and again, Amir Jenkins is the injury situation. We don't know ultimately what he's going to be able to play this year, but we know he's had 2 shoulder surgeries, and the odds are, hey, you know, and he's going to be questionable. And everybody's going, well, just take a medical red shirt. Well, if there's no medical red shirts, now what's your thought process with Amir?
Yeah. Well, I think he's one. He's a good example of that. And if there's any time during this season in which he is ready to go, you might as well get him in there again. Even if that's 2 weeks at the end of the season, he becomes physically able to go, as an example. Yeah, that's exactly right. And then again, you've got the 2 players in particular, Trayson and Bilo, that are sitting out there, both working out for NBA teams and continuing down that path of playing professionally. But at the same time, they're the group that is, and I don't know that either one of those 2 is involved in the class action lawsuit yet or will pursue that opportunity, but those are guys that we're referring to that played 4 and 4 and watched guys ahead of them and now behind them get that 5th year, and they were not afforded that opportunity. And I'm interested to see how the courts rule on this once that starts to hit and those suits become public, which again is going to be in a matter of days, not weeks, when those start to hit. So groundbreaking legislation attempted by the NCAA today is, again, that's the other part of that. And I know the NCAA doesn't garner a lot of sympathy, but it's also a group that's trying to put some rules in place, some guardrails in place that everybody's asked for, and yet continues to get struck down as it gets into the court system. So this is another one. This is a big one.
Yeah.
This is a change for, hundreds of years of what it has been. And now they're trying to enact a new rule here. We'll see if it has any teeth and it can hold.
At least 125. So, I mean, it's significant. And I think once you get used to it, it'll be fun. But the other unintended consequence, it's going to impact recruiting, right? Because if you bring X number of players back that you hadn't counted on, you're going to have fewer roster slots available. So all of a sudden, you know, we're talking about so much football recruiting that's going on right now. Well, you know, you got 22 verbal commitments. Well, hold it a second. Our roster slots are going to be a lot more filled. Maybe we don't need to get to 40 newcomers because we've got 10 other guys we hadn't planned on that are going to be able to come back and will come back. So, I mean, everybody's going to be dealing with that, not just West Virginia University. So it's going to impact recruiting as well. Sort of like the COVID years did.
Yeah, with current guys that are over there now, like it impacts it right now. But also those basketball players. I mean, if there's 50 of them right now, and there's sure to be more that will join that class action lawsuit. What if the court upholds that those guys get those? I shouldn't just say guys, that those athletes get an extra year of eligibility. Then what? Now it's kind of like the Michigan situation. Well, who's got money left? Who's got roster spaces left? How many of those guys can actually? Is there a place to come back to if the ruling goes in their favor? So those are all questions that are circulating and floating, again, as college basketball teams have started practice and are underway with the process of getting ready for the new year. So lots still to come. Again, the unsettled landscape of college sports never ceases to amaze, and today was another landmark decision in the college sports world. All right, break to take. When we come back, we'll turn our attention to women's basketball. Khyala Ngodu joins us. Transfer.
Very good.
Speaking of transfers, from UCF. She'll join us. She's new here in Morgantown. We'll welcome her to the show and the state when we return on the CityNet Statewide Sportsline.
Kids are active, and sometimes injuries happen. At WVU Medicine Golisano Children's, our orthopedics team specializes in caring for growing bones, joints, and muscles. From sports injuries and fractures to scoliosis and complex conditions, we provide advanced treatment with a gentle touch, because kids deserve care designed just for them. Call 855-WVU-CARE to schedule an evaluation, or visit WVUkids.com.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan, we are here for you.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline returns in 2 minutes on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
For couples that are experiencing infertility, about half will have the male factor in the diagnosis. At the WVU Medicine Center for Reproductive Medicine, we offer a wide array of treatment options for male factor infertility. There's really no reason you would need to go anywhere else. If we can identify and treat male factor infertility, we can prevent couples from even having to go down the road of IVF, saving you potentially money and time. We're here to help build a family. We have the capabilities and we care.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dancava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. All this and more at Dancava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the road.
Download MetroNews Television on your iPhone or Android. Search MetroNews Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
High-speed fiber internet is probably at your front door, and now's the time to connect. More rural communities in West Virginia can finally get the high-speed internet they deserve. With free equipment, free installation, no contract, and local support you can trust. Whether you're streaming, working, gaming, or running your business, CityNet delivers the speed and reliability you need. CityNet connects, protects, and perfects. Reminder, Textline open 304-8255304. We already have some coming in. We'll get to those coming up here in just a minute. But as I mentioned earlier, tomorrow night, June 24, right, Coach Hunter? Tomorrow, June 24th.
Yes, it is.
Women's basketball team's holding a meet and greet over at the GOAT here in Morgantown, Suncrest Town Center. 3 guys will be over there. Greg will be on hand talking to everybody. The event's free and open to the public. It starts around 6:30. Q&A session starting somewhere around 7. So it's a chance to come out and meet members of the WVU women's basketball team. And one of the new faces on the team is Khyala Ngodu, who transfers into WVU from UCF, and she joins us now on the CityNet statewide Sportsline. Khyala, good evening. Welcome to the program.
Good evening. Good evening. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate it.
Sure. We're thrilled to talk to you, and welcome to Morgantown. Welcome to West Virginia. Welcome to WVU. How's it going so far?
It's going great. You know, I'm adjusting. I'm getting used to it. I got some pretty good food out here. I was surprised.
Oh, pretty good food. What have you liked so far?
I like the good stuff, like places that y'all got that I haven't heard before, like Roots and Oriza Asian Kitchen, Jamaican Spice Kitchen. Those places are dope.
Sure. Free plugs, by the way, for those, Coach Hunter. Good, Khyala. I'm glad you're liking the food early. That's a good start. Hey, let's make this easy. Let's start with an easy discussion point here. Why WVU? Why'd you choose to come to Morgantown?
Oh man, the coaching staff really, like, they believed in me a lot. You know, I came on my visit. They were actually the first school to contact me when I entered the portal. And I came on my visit, and they laid out a plan for me for the rest of the season if I were to come. They taught me things that they want to help me with to get better. They taught me things they want to, strengths that I have that they could lock in on and make even better than they are. And this is a winning program. You know, I come from a program that didn't win much, so I'm looking forward to winning this year.
So, Khyala, that brings up a good question then. What are those things that you need to improve upon? What are you spending your off-season concentrating on?
For sure. Yeah, just being more decisive. Being more decisive in the post, being more decisive on the elbow when I have the ball in general, on offense and defense, becoming a better on-ball defender, becoming a better inside defender, running the floor a lot in transition. Those are definitely some things I want to work on.
You come to West Virginia from UCF, so you have that unique perspective of having played against this system, against this staff, and against this program. So what, from an opponent perspective, what was it about West Virginia, either when you'd play them, as you were doing your scout, what was it that intrigued you about West Virginia from the other side of the court?
Oh, that pressure, that press. They get up in you, and I know that's what we're known for. You know, West Virginia is definitely known for that, so much so they got the name Press Virginia. But that's definitely something that every time we scout them, we're working on how to break the press breakers in practice, protecting the ball because they always have hands out on defense. They get plenty of steals, and then they get out in transition and play fast. So, yeah.
So when you're on the other side of this defense, and especially the guards, I mean, you're a post, but obviously it impacted you as well. But did you see panic in guards' faces when they went up against this defense?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Definitely being on the other side of it, I'm sure that's like, because that's in practice the last few days, that's what he's been trying to instill in us. But on the other side of it, you kind of see your guards' faces and see them kind of fluster a little bit, knowing that they have a hand right there and somebody that has crazy foot speed in front of them that can take away all their vision and all of their space. So, for sure.
We're talking with WVU women's basketball player Khyala Ngodu, who's transferred in from UCF. She's about to begin her first year with the Mountaineers coming up here in just a few months. I've got to imagine from a player perspective, this is a pretty fun system, that attacking defense, up and down offensively, but yet still uses the post. I mean, you still have the ability to get down low when you need to, but you can pop out on the perimeter. I would think that's a pretty enticing system.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's definitely another reason why I came here. You know, it opens up the floor and opens up so many options when you get out and play that fast, and everybody's able to contribute, and it is fun, like you said.
So give us a little insight into your game. Obviously, 6'3" post. You're originally from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So your first, living situation in the North. But what have you developed at West Virginia? And what is it that you've done really well that it intrigues you from this coaching staff standpoint to bring you up here?
Yeah, I feel like one of the things that I kind of try to be is as versatile as possible. You know, I'm a type of player who's aggressive in the post. You know, I'm always trying to take advantage of whatever matchup I have. But I'm also willing to, especially if there's a double team, kick it out. You know, I'm really smart with stuff like that, making the right read, finding the right play. And I'm surrounded by shooters this year for sure. So I'll have those players on the perimeter to spit it out to and have them knock down some threes to take some pressure off me so that I can take advantage of those matchups. Because when I do get the ball in the post, I'm definitely looking to score, go to my go-to moves, and take advantage of that.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, right?
I like yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they got to decide whether to double you or leave you on an island, then you take them right to the basket if they don't come down and help. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about this. We talk so much about how just the world of college sports and basketball in particular has changed. It used to be in the old days, it was October 14th was the day when you started practice. Now that's not the case. You guys are underway, and you're going, and you're practicing right now. Give us an inside look of what you see from this group as you look to rebuild this roster. Lost a couple of big pieces from last year, but brought in a heck of a recruiting class, transfers and high school kids. What have you seen from the group so far?
I mean, amazing things. Everybody's bought in. Everybody wants to win. Everybody competes every single day. That's really not a day in practice where we're not competing, no matter what drill or what thing that we're doing. Everybody's competing, so that's really great and really fun to be around. It's a lot of energy. Everybody wants to get up and down. The defensive intensity is expressed, but it's definitely there from a lot of us that came in because we know what standard that we having to play to come to this program. So that's how it's been. It's been great, though.
Khyala, I would think that this type of situation in today's basketball world really points out those that love the sport because it's 24/7, 365. I mean, as Brad said, it used to start in October. Not that there weren't off-season workouts, but it used to start later. But now you guys are going now. You better love this sport or you're not going to be around very long.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It definitely gives us the opportunity to learn each other and learn each other's games, get in better shape, and just kind of figure out what things we want to tweak before the season because we have plenty of time before the season until we have to really strap up for real. So, yeah, it gives us a lot of time.
Did you do other sports growing up, or have you been basketball since the very beginning?
I've been basketball since the beginning, but I tried out a couple of things. You know, I did flag football throughout middle school. I did a little bit of track throughout middle school, but it's always been basketball.
What'd you play in flag football?
I played a safety and a wide receiver.
Ah, you're probably pretty good. Throw it up and go get it?
Exactly.
Have you always been tall?
Yes.
Yeah, so like
always.
Yeah, always for your age.
I had a growth spurt around my 7th grade year. So my 6th grade year, I was a little shorter, but for the most part, yeah.
That's good. And like I said, Fort Lauderdale. So so a Florida girl, what is the transition to West Virginia been like? You found a few places that you can eat, but anything else that's caught you so far? Of course, you haven't gone through a winter up here yet.
Oh,
so
there's not winter up here. Don't worry, Khyala. There's no winter up here. It's beautiful.
Is it?
Yeah, it's fine.
Nah, I'm a little familiar. You know, we came out here, being that I was at UCF in the Big 12, we came out here a couple times in the winter, and I know how it looks out here. It definitely looks different than it does now. You know, the pool is open, the sun is out, it's hot outside, so it's not too different from Florida outside of the mountains and the palm trees, but I'm prepared for that winter. I got to go do some shopping for some heavier clothes, though.
Yeah, you'll get a couple coats. You'll be fine. It'll just be nice and cool. It won't be that oppressive heat you're used to in Florida. It'll be nice and cool for you.
Exactly. It might be good.
Hey, tell us, all right, take it from this perspective. Coming from this league, you know a little bit about the passion of this fan base. So what do you know about Mountaineer fans? What are you excited about? Especially tomorrow. You're going to meet a bunch of them when we're out at our event tomorrow evening. What are you excited about in terms of the Mountaineer fans?
Sure. I'm excited about the support. You know, I heard that you guys sold out the entire arena for the NCAA tournament game. Like, that's something that I'm looking forward to receiving. You know, I've already received a little bit of that love, you know, from the camp that we had a few days ago. A lot of fans came out and were at the camp, signed autographs. So interacting with them, seeing how much they genuinely love to support women's basketball in every single sport throughout the school of West Virginia, it's been amazing. It's been something that has made the transition a lot easy, knowing that a lot of people in the city have your back and are rooting for you. So it's great.
So a lot of newcomers on this roster, including yourself. Has it been hard to bond with so many new pieces this quickly, or have you guys developed some chemistry already?
Oh, no, we're definitely developing some chemistry. I say we all go out our way to, you know, ask the next person, hey, let's go grab lunch. Let's go do this thing together. Like, and the coaches make sure that they set up different team bonding events so that we're spending time with each other. Everybody's willing to do it. So that's definitely it's been good.
All right, wonderful. It was great catching up with you. Looking forward to seeing you in person tomorrow. We'll be out at the GOAT here in Suncrest Town Center. That's a free event. It's open to the public. Your chance to come out and your first chance to say hello to this new women's basketball team. Khyala will be part of that, and she'll be there with us. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, and thank you so much for making time tonight. It was great talking to you.
Of course. Looking forward to seeing you guys as well. It's a great conversation.
All right. Thanks, Khyala. We'll see you tomorrow.
No problem. Bye.
All right. There she is. Fun interview with her.
Oh, very much so.
She jumped right in, liked the food right away. We like that.
Absolutely.
We like that.
You know, it is a different look for this Mark Kellogg team. And again, they've had some great players. I mean, but he traditionally, in his short time here, hasn't had posts with a lot of size, right? He's taken full advantage of undersized posts. And they've been really good. Mimi Wheeler last year being one of those. But now they've got, I think there's six women over 6 feet tall on this roster. And, I mean, certainly Khyala being one of those prominent ones. It's going to be a big factor in the paint.
Yeah, you're right. And it's been so good at the guards, right? When you roll from JJ and Jordan into Jordan last year, and you got Gia Cook in there, and and you've just had so many great guards in backcourt. You're right, but they have made a concerted effort to get bigger, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you saw it from year 1 into year 2, and then you're right. This year, I think they've even continued that evolution, as you have to in the Big 12. I mean, you're dealing with size and speed and athleticism, and I think you're right. Khyala will be a nice addition, someone that understands this league, has played in this league, knows the rigors of this league, has played a bunch of games, right? So you're getting experience post, brings great size, and obviously great interview skills. We need to roll her out more. We'll have her back
had
on.
Some nice games against West Virginia. West Virginia played, I think she's played 4 or 5 times against West Virginia. She missed one of the games last year with an injury, and West Virginia beat the Knights by like 50. Yeah. I mean, it was non-competitive. They gave West Virginia fits in the second game, the meeting. Khyala was on the floor and played really well, double figures in points. And a lot of it was because she was available, and they fought tooth and nail down to the end. And as good as West Virginia was, they had to fight their way past UCF. Difference with her on the floor and off that. Yeah. So that'll tell you her ability.
Yeah, it's a great point, and she'll be a valuable member of this team. So again, one last plug: come tomorrow, Suncrest Town Center, free, open to the public. Begins about 6:30. Question and answer portion with the girls begins right around 7 or so. Hoppy, Tony, and I will be there, and the coaching staff and women's basketball team at the GOAT here, Suncrest Town Center. We'd love to see you out there tomorrow evening. Break to take when we come back. NBA draft straight ahead. Coming up here in just about 25 minutes, the draft gets underway. We'll talk a little bit about that. A lot of Big 12 flavor in this first round coming up tonight. We'll also get into your text, so keep those coming at 304-8255. 304, and we're back after this on the CityNet Statewide Sportsline.
Ready to make this boating season unforgettable? Head to Lou Wendell Marine Sales, family owned and operated for over 40 years and West Virginia's largest Avalon pontoon dealer. Lou and his sons are boating experts from sales to service to repairs. And right now, their lot is packed with incredible inventory and some of the best deals of the season. Whether it's weekends on the lake or sunset cruises with the family, Lou Wendell Marine Sales has your perfect boat waiting, because they don't just sell boats, they sell family fun. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com today.
Answering a text or phone call while driving seems pretty harmless, right? But in the 5 seconds you took your eyes off the road to respond, you missed the girl riding her bike across the street. You missed the dog who darted into the road, and you missed the stop sign. And while it was just a ticket this time, it could have been worse. In fact, more than 700 people are injured in distracted driving crashes each day. Keep yourself and others safe. Don't drive distracted. Just drive. This message was brought to you by the West Virginia Governor's Highway Safety Program.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet Statewide Sportsline returns in 2 minutes on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's MetroNews television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
Rains from Monday to Tuesday resulted in flooding, where locally estimates surpassed 4 inches of rain. You can see various pockets of deep greens where we had at least a good inch here and there in West Virginia, with some drier pockets as well. Adding numbers to this, not as impressive for Parkersburg, Elkins, Huntington, less than a ½ inch for Monday, but Charleston over 1 3/4 inch. Beckley, a daily record with more than 2½ inches, and that doesn't account for any rain that fell after midnight into this morning. An opportunity to dry out the rest of today, Wednesday, Thursday, but then Thursday night and Friday, scattered thunderstorms with a widespread marginal threat, so we will see the potential for more heavy rain that may bring additional flooding concerns at the end of the work week. For now, though, quieting down, clear skies tonight with areas of fog setting up into Wednesday morning, then a nice dry day out there Wednesday, and another one for most of Thursday. 5-star W forecast, it starts at home. Also pretty clear the next few days if you're traveling toward D.C., Atlanta, New York, Myrtle Beach, Charlotte, but plan for wet weather toward Chicago, Orlando, and Tampa. Panhandle, the Panhandle forecast without the clouds tonight. Temperatures falling toward 51 for Kingswood, looking to 54 for Moundsville. Highs from mid-70s to low 80s here on Wednesday. Toward Martinsburg to stay a touch warmer with 58 for a low and a high of 83 Wednesday. Davis, high of only 70. We'll see some areas of fog as well, with some communities like Elkins dipping shy of the 50-degree mark, staying at 76 here Wednesday, 69 Snowshoe, but still warming toward 80 as we look to Parkersburg and Ripley. And looking south, more areas of fog, mid-40s to mid-50s, highs in the upper 70s to low 80s for our Wednesday. An active stretch Friday through the weekend, but by next week, getting hot and staying dry.
Welcome back. Sitting at Statewide Sportsline continues. Brad and Greg with you from our Health Plan studio. Since 1979, the Health Plan is called West Virginia home. From humble beginnings, they've grown alongside West Virginia, becoming a part of its fabric. For over 4 decades, they've been here through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving West Virginia for over 40 years, the Health Plan. Again, text line open 304-8255-304. We'll get to those here in just a second. NBA draft coming up tonight, Greg, and there is a lot. And we knew this last year. We talked during the season just about how good the Big 12 was going to be and then ultimately was. It was every night you were going into that facing somebody that was a potential first-round draft pick or at the very least an NBA type of player, and it's going to come to fruition tonight. And the interesting part for me is right off the top at 1 and 2, and this has been the debate since before they played a minute in college. A.J. DeBonsa from BYU, does he go 1 or does Darren Peterson from Kansas go 1? The conventional wisdom right now, they're still 1 and 2, as they have been since they came out of high school. What's fascinating to me on this one, though, Greg, Utah's holding the number 2 pick, right? So there's DeBonsa, who went out there to play prep school, played at BYU for a year, and the Jazz are sitting right there with a chance to get a really talented player, and they could get him at number 2. They have got to be thinking, you've got to be kidding me. Is Washington going to take our guy, or is Washington going to pull a fast one? It's like a 6-1 favorite for DeBonsa to go 1. But will the Wizards go off the board and pull Darren Peterson? And there's a bunch of people. There's a bunch of people out there. I don't know how weird it would be necessarily, because Peterson might be the more overall talented player, right? I mean, it's not like he's a 6'1" guard with all those skills. He's a 6'5" dude that can do it all. There's some questions if you're nitpicking about DeBonsa. Is his ability to shoot the 3 consistently? Is he too much of a mid-range guy to make it go? Again, you're nitpicking on those, I realize, but it's not inconceivable that Washington says, give me Darren Peterson, and DeBonsa falls to the Jazz at 2. But I'm watching that right out of the gate.
So you sat courtside to see both of those guys multiple times when they played the Mountaineers, so you're 4 feet away at some points. My view from press row, 50 feet away, was I don't pass DeBonsa. What do you think?
That's a good one. We could sit here if we had time. I think I could make a case for Darren Peterson. He is ultra skilled and talented and not far off in the size category. You get a 6'5" guard. That's a big guard, right, that can play, and he can do it all when he's locked in and engaged. That's a good one. But yeah, it's tough to think you would pass on a skilled guy at 6'8" like DeBonsa, but if the game involves so much three-point shooting, and again, I'll be honest, I don't know the Wizards roster well enough, nor the Jazz roster well enough to really get down in the weeds on you on that, but it wouldn't stun me if it was Peterson. Again, the betting markets tell you it's all DeBonsa, but it wouldn't stun me if they went out and said, yeah, Darren Peterson's a more well-rounded player, so to speak, can do a lot more for us than even DeBonsa, and then that opens up Utah to jump on him. Some other guys whose names you will hear tonight probably pretty early. Kingston Flemings from Houston, the point guard, just played 1 year. He was one of the other talented freshmen. Think about that. That could be 3 Big 12 freshmen off the board in the top 10. Not just Big 12 players, 3 freshmen off the board. He's projected to go to Atlanta, the Hawks. Braden Burries is a guy from Arizona that really came on late. He wasn't the most talked about freshman on Arizona's team for most of the year. By the end of the year, you went, I tell you what, Braden Burries is pretty good. He's moved his way into a potential top 10. Cameron Carr from Baylor, another projected first-rounder. Christian Anderson, Texas Tech. Chris Sanak, Houston. Koa Pete, you just mentioned, from Arizona, potentially sliding into the first round. Josh Jefferson, Iowa State, maybe has a spot in the first round. How many guys did I just name? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 9 guys right there. Potential first-round players. Another WVU opponent that's getting a lot of attention and running up draft boards is Abuka Okori, remember, from Stanford? I mean, he had, 30-plus against West Virginia out in the Crown. He was a talented dude as well. So there's some that say he may play his way into a first-round pick. Now, granted, I realize what I just did. That was basically those NCAA tournament selection guys that have 112 teams in the field. I realize there's not only, 30 spots in the first round. Here's some other names, though, in the second round. Shows you how deep this league was. Baba Miller, first-team All-Conference from Cincinnati. Richie Saunders, coming back from injury. Emmanuel Sharp. Jaden Bradley, Player of the Year in the league out of Arizona. Milos Uzan, guys that are all potential draft picks coming up tonight. So it should be an interesting draft. Will you watch? Are you a draft guy?
Yeah, not like the NFL draft, I will admit. NFL draft, I'm usually pretty much stuck in there constantly. I'll check into the NBA draft. And more often, if there's been a Mountaineer that's sort of been on the books somewhere, I'll pay attention. You know, the Javon Carter, Deuce McBride years and some of those last year.
Javon Small.
Yeah, Javon Small. But not as much this year, though, because there's so many players that Mountaineer fans got a chance to see up close and personal against WVU. There is some familiarity there that'll keep me more locked in than normal.
Yeah, especially because the number one pick is going to be a guy you've seen. Either one of those guys is a guy that's been through the Coliseum. Andrew Wiggins is a former number one overall pick that we've seen play in the Coliseum. That's what struck me about this draft. And you know me, like I'm a draft guy, NFL or NBA. I just love the pomp and circumstance of it. So I will dial in. But that's a lot of names right there. I'm interested to see how many of those guys go in the first round, how many are top 10 guys that we have watched up close. And then certainly, as we mentioned earlier, what do the Celtics and Joe Mazzulla do? There was a lot of talk that they were going to get Giannis. They did not. He goes to Miami. What does Boston do in the draft? What do the Knicks do around Deuce McBride, right? Where is his spot okay? Are they going to look for a guard, or is he said, is it finally next year when he breaks through and gets even more playing time? What's Mike do? What's Gansey do in his first draft?
I'm really interested in that one.
As a Sixer general manager / president this time. So I'll be keeping an eye on the Sixers as well. Should be a fun night.
You should be, yeah. I mean, again, I know the experts, again, I'm not going to pretend to be one, but think that this is one of the most talent-laden drafts in many, many, many years. Yes. And there's so much Big 12 flavor in it.
Yes.
I'll be interested to see. And again, you know, we won't know this for years, but is it one of those drafts that we're going to look back in 10, 15 years and say, boy, that was historic?
I do think what you will do, and again, not that you need the draft to tell you this, but it does kind of back up what we said all last year. I think we're going to look back at last year's Big 12 and say, my gosh, that was a loaded league. And we said it while you're going through it. You thought that going in. You certainly saw that play out during the season with all of these guys. I think that's what's going to come to fruition here. I think as we get further away from last year, we'll continue to look back and go, listen, the Big 12 is great every year. It's been the number one league most of the time that West Virginia's been in it. But I think last year was an exceptionally good year for the league with high-end talent, especially freshmen. I mean, how many of those guys were freshmen that I just named? And so I think that's what you're looking at. And quite frankly, if you want to tie this back into a Mountaineer basketball angle, it's part of what has me excited going into next year. I think your skill and talent took a step forward. And I think the league, I don't think it can be as talented as it was last year because it was such an unbelievably high ceiling talent group. If that makes sense. I don't know if it's proper English there, but I think that should have you excited about Mountaineer basketball is that this league was so good. So many of these guys went to the NBA number one. And then if you start to look down a list of transfers, Fiora Badinga being a guy, defensive player of the year, he's now at Louisville. There's some Big 12 players that could have returned that did not and went to other schools around. So I think you have a chance to see a Big 12 last year that'll still be an excellent league, but I don't know that it'll have the high-end freshman talent that this past class did.
Hopefully not.
I don't know how it could.
Selfish standpoint, I wouldn't mind seeing it take a step back if West Virginia's taking a step forward.
Absolutely agree with that. So draft coming up tonight. We'll talk more about that tomorrow once it's done and we see where some of these guys have gone. All right, final break to take. When we come back, we'll dive into what you have to say. 304-TALK 304. If you'd like to weigh in, we'll get to those next on the CityNet Statewide Sportsline.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan, we are here for you.
Hey, this is Brad Howe for your local internet provider, CityNet. Fiber is now at your front door and even in rural areas and communities across West Virginia. Thanks to broadband expansion funding, your tax dollars helped make it possible. And CityNet turned that investment into real connections for local families and businesses. Now, you can get blazing fast fiber internet with free installation, free equipment, no long-term contract, and local customer support that's always close to home. Don't settle for slow or no internet for another day. When it's high-speed internet you need, CityNet.net connects, protects, and perfects.
Live From the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline returns in 2 minutes on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
You know CityNet is West Virginia's leading technology company. Whether we're managing IT infrastructures, protecting the critical data and networks of our region's businesses, or providing fiber broadband, TV, and phone services, we are your go-to experts. We're also a strong partner in the communities in which we serve. CityNet, your trusted technology partner. Learn more about us, visit citynet.net.
We are there for you, to care for you at the Health Plan. We are here for you.
The Health Plan proudly supports our active and healthy communities and has been your most trusted carrier for over 40 years. Log on to healthplan.org for more information.
We are there for you, to care for you at the Health Plan. We are here for you. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
We're back. Final segment, CityNet statewide sports line. Brad and Greg with you. Reminder, I think it's coming out tomorrow, Coach Hunter. Michael Hawkins was our guest on Three Guys Before the Game, so we'll have some clips for you on that, and also a chance, if you are a follower or listen to that program, you can get the full interview with Michael Hawkins coming up tomorrow. One more news and note before we get into some of the text messages you all have sent in. Baseball America, one of the groups that put its final poll out today, Greg.
Mm-hmm.
West Virginia finishing 4th nationally in college baseball. Just, again, remarkable season for Steve Saban and the boys.
Yeah, appropriate since you made it to the Final Four, basically the college tournament. So, but good, right behind Georgia. Of course, we didn't talk about Oklahoma's win over North Carolina last night.
Rolled them.
Yeah, wasn't even close.
Rolled them. So much for my lean towards North Carolina.
Yeah, that Tar Heels' great pitching staff didn't quite live up to it in the ultimate moment.
Yeah, as we talked, it was weird, right? They had to start at North Carolina was starting somebody that hadn't started in a month, and Oklahoma coming back with a freshman, so you get down to that third point. But the Oklahoma Bats did what they have done over the last month and a half.
Your sport is odd, though, in terms of, and I guess, it could happen in basketball, but somebody who just gets hot at the right time, because Oklahoma was not the best team in the country.
11th in the SEC.
Yeah.
They finished 11th in the SEC.
Exactly. But, boy, they were really good. Had to go on the road completely during the NCAA tournament, Georgia Tech, then Kansas, and just swept through everything.
They did. All right, let's get into some of your texts. 304-8255-304. With this 5-for-5 rules in the age clock, do military kids just get tossed aside? What if a kid's a top player but wants to serve the country before coming to play at WVU? Are these kids just screwed out of playing because they didn't enroll later? No, there are exemptions for military and religious, like missions, right, that some of the BYU players have done. So and pregnancy was another one that is that one of the few exceptions on that. Texter's mad early. Coach Hunter, mad. It says, why the hell is Pat White's number getting retired during the Coastal Carolina game and not a Big 12 game?
Think of the date of that game. 9-5. Retiring number 5 on the 5th day of the month.
Oh, very good.
That symmetry goes
very good.
Goes along.
Plus early, you should have good weather. Should be fun, packed stadium. But the 5th, I like that.
Yeah.
Retiring number 5 on the 5th.
Yep.
Very good, Coach Hunter. Hopefully that makes the Texter less mad when he hears your logic for that. Texter, this is a good one. We didn't talk about this. What do you think of the NFL telling Brendan Sorsby that there will not be a supplemental draft this year? So the route of him just going ahead and declaring for the NFL via supplemental draft, I guess the NFL says no. They're not going to do one.
We don't have to. And imagine that. There will be a legal case to follow. We'll see if the NFL's ability to defend its own decisions are better than college. Though the college seemingly worked pretty well in telling Sorsby that they weren't going to accept him in their ranks either. But I understand. Again, the kid hasn't even mentioned that he's sorry for all the problems he caused.
It's really interesting, though. It's almost like the NFL gave him the suspension that maybe the NCAA should have done. Right?
Yeah.
They almost came over the top and said, all right, you guys didn't do it, we'll do it.
Yeah. He'll be eligible for the next year's draft, but isn't going to be able to get into the supplemental this year.
They're not even going to be a supplemental.
Yeah.
They said they're not having one again.
No,
right?
and they haven't had one in several years, apparently. I mean, no one pays attention to it because hardly anybody goes through it, but he would have been the only player that applied for it, apparently, and they said no.
Texter, Greg in Lake Norman, I'll summarize. It's a long text. He just basically was celebrating that UNC did not win the baseball national championship there. Texter, another one about Sorsby's not getting in the supplemental draft. Texter texted us the rankings for the Athletic baseball rankings. West Virginia 4th in that poll as well. Steve from Philippi. NCAA needs to get to work with transfer portal dates, not during that sports season, and get a working calendar. I said that during one of the earlier shows. It was wild that they passed that and got the date for the basketball transfer portal pushed back to after the national championship, but then the very next sport to come up was baseball, and they didn't do the same for baseball. Now, again, Steve talked about this, Sabins, that on one hand, he would have rather not been on the phone with a Zoom call trying to lock in a transfer portal guy on the day you win your first game and you're looking for the second.
Sitting in Omaha.
However, it's not the worst recruiting pitch in the world when you're sitting in your hotel room in Omaha talking to a recruit saying, hey, we're getting ready to play tomorrow in the College World Series. Would you like to be a part of that? So there is a little bit to both sides to that part of it. Texter. Gary from Vienna, does this new NCAA rule about 5 years of eligibility mirror the law that's in front of Congress right now regarding eligibility? Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Gary, I think that was part of that entire plan that was presented, was that it included a 5-for-5 play situation. Texter, I think that's it. I think that's all I got. Oh, wait, sorry. Texter. Oh, the guy that's mad about the Pat White.
Mm-hmm.
It does not make me less mad! Exclamation point. So he's still mad. Says he'd rather the fans of a Big 12 team in the stadium be reminded of who Pat was as opposed to a bunch of Coastal fans.
There won't be that many Coastal fans.
Yeah, there will not be, and nor does Kansas State really care or remember who Pat was, because Pat wasn't running all over them yet.
No.
So that's for the West Virginia fans. Listen, when you retire a number, it is not for the visiting fans. It is for your home fans that will be there to celebrate Pat.
That's the opener. And as we've seen, the opener traditionally draws one of your better crowds.
Correct.
So there'll be a big crowd that day. I mean, it won't be 15,000. There'll be 55 to 60,000 in attendance. They'll see. I think the symmetry of the whole thing is why they're doing it.
I like it. I'm sorry, Texter. We tried to make you less mad. I hope that you'll be able to get past it and enjoy that Pat White's number is getting retired. That will be a fun day, right? That's pretty cool. That's great to remember and honor and get to talk about him. Anytime we can talk more Pat White, I'm for that. You, Coach Hunter?
Oh, absolutely. And West Virginia's in recent years has had several of these, from the Darryl Talley, Major Harris, Coach Nealon, and every one of those brings a flood of memories back, and it's been really cool.
Fun chance to reflect. Doug in Winfield weighing in says, what's going to be the lawsuit to overturn the 5-year eligibility ruling? We know it's coming. Yeah, Doug, we said it right in the very first 2 minutes of the show. There's already a group that's assembling a class action lawsuit. There'll be some individual lawsuits as well. There's no doubt it's coming. I mean, that's what happens. That's what you get. And we'll be interested to see. I'm interested to see how they handle this particular one. Texter said, a lot of people mad tonight. It's summer here, folks, but
Yeah.
I understand this one. Texter says, I'm mad at ESPN because where I was on vacation, they showed cricket instead of WVU, and YouTube TV wasn't authorized there. Well, it sounds like you were on a heck of an exotic vacation,
Yeah.
so hopefully the vacation was really good and relaxing, even though you couldn't see your Mountaineers. So I understand the frustration, but hopefully you're over it in the nice locale.
Yeah.
Balance that out for you.
Have to give up something.
All right, I think we covered it all for tonight, Coach Hunter.
Good stuff. NBA.
Khyala was fun.
Yeah, she was very fun.
Yeah.
It should be a good meet and greet tomorrow. Again,
thank
at the
you.
GOAT.
One last plug, women's basketball meet and greet tomorrow, at the GOAT here at the Suncrest Town Center. Free and open to the public. We'd love to see you. Women's basketball team would love to see you. They'll all be out there. Tony, Hoppy, and I will be there. I'll be a little bit late because we're here.
You do have to do the show.
We'll hustle over there after
Those
we're done.
retired guys, they got nothing else to do.
Yeah, those two guys that are retired, they'll be over there probably about 3 o'clock or so, just waiting on everybody. So we'll see you tomorrow at the GOAT, and look forward to saying hi to Khyala and the rest of the women's basketball team. Greg and I back with you tomorrow. We'll talk some Michael Hawkins on the show tomorrow evening. Enjoy your night. We'll talk to you then.
From the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline is an exclusive production of the MetroNews Radio Network. All rights reserved.